Local and national activists are gathering in Georgetown this morning, where they're embarking on a 27-mile march across central Texas. A big goal of that march is to back Democrats in trying to block the Texas voting bill. John Krinjak live in Georgetown with more on how the march is going so far. Good morning, John.
Hey, Amanda, good morning to you. Yeah, we're here in Georgetown. We're about half an hour into the Moral March for Democracy. It's going to be covering about 27 miles here between here and Austin and the state capitol over the next 4 days or so. And we're joined by possibly one of the most recognizable marchers here, Beto O'Rourke, former congressman, former candidate for president. Thank you so much for talking to us. Talk to me about why are you a part of this and why a march? Why is that the way to get your point across?
We are in a state that is already the toughest in the nation in which to cast a ballot or to register. They're about to make it a lot harder in the Texas legislature for millions more Texans to vote in the next election. So if we want to protect the right to vote, if we want to expand voting rights by getting the Senate to pass the For the People Act, we've literally got to march for it. We got to show up and stand up and be counted. And so that's why I'm here. And I'm hoping folks who are interested will join us in Austin this Saturday, 10 a.m. in front of the Capitol. We want you to be a part of it as well.
And Jordan, are you able to just swing around and kind of show the people marching here with this crowd of people? I think we got at least 100 people here probably. What do you hope people take away from this as you guys walk by?
I want people to understand just what's happening to our democracy. Our president, Joe Biden, called this the single greatest attack on democracy, both the January 6th insurrection and then the hundreds of voting restrictions bills that are being passed or considered in more than 40 different state legislatures. Most importantly, Texas. So bad in Texas that our Democratic state legislators had to leave and go to D.C. to take the fight to the one place we can win it, in our nation's capital. So that's how important and urgent this moment is, but we're not going to prevail unless people show up. And so we urge them to come out to the Capitol this Saturday in Austin.
What do you say to the Republicans who obviously spearheaded this bill here in Texas, who argue this is just about standardizing the voting process across the state? It doesn't make it harder for people to vote, and that turnout shows that votes are not suppressed. What do you say to that argument?
You know, it's the same argument that they made 100 years ago. Look, the literacy test, that's not so bad, or a poll tax, why shouldn't you have to pay it? What we know is that those were efforts, successful ones, to stop some voters in Texas from being able to participate. And when some of us cannot vote and cannot help decide the outcomes of elections, then we don't fix the problems that are before us, getting everybody insured or able to see a doctor, a minimum wage that's a living wage, confronting climate change before it's too late. Whatever it is that we want to do, we've got to be able to vote to get there. And so fighting for this right to vote is essential.
Is running for governor a way to fight for this right?
I'm focused on the fight in front of us, and that's this one. Let's make sure that we can save our democracy, see this through, pass the For the People Act, and afterwards, then we can talk about how we can best serve this state.
Still considering it?
I'm focused on this.
All right.
Yeah.
Beto O'Rourke, thank you so much for talking to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Stay cool out there.
I will. Adios.
All right. Thank you so much. And we will have much more coming up here throughout the morning. The march expected to continue till about 2 o'clock. It's going to go from Georgetown into Round Rock a little bit later on this morning. And then, of course, it continues for the next 4 days, culminating at the state capitol this Saturday. And we'll have more on what Republicans are saying about all this, about how they perceive this strategy by the Democrats. That's coming up in our next half hour. For now, we're live here in Georgetown. I'm John Krinjak, Fox 7 Austin News.